Did you hear that? This is the ring that they're using on Saturday from Mike Goodall, who is he's the backbone of British boxing, because everybody uses Mike Goodall's rings, and there are competitors that come out to try and use Mike Goodall's rings or to try and challenge him, and they can't, because they can't keep up with it. I've seen this man, or even on my shows, single-handedly put up an 18-foot ring. Single-handedly, and then he gives out the money to these little young kids to do some work for him, and he starts like, "You're not doing it right."
How many fights has Mike done? Mike
has done must be tens of thousands. You got to think about it. He's put up a ring. How many? Come on, tens of thousands.
I do 500 a year, and I've been in the job 35 years. 35
years. So then do the maths. It's a lot. That's a lot.
Overall, like 160,000. About 160,000.
It's mad, right?
Wow.
Exactly, and then you charge a tenner, add that up over the years.
I just wish I put a fiver in a box every time I've done it.
Yeah.
Razavan for FightHype.com with me. I've got my man, the knowledge, Spencer Fearon. Spence, firstly, looking sharp and crisp as always.
Man, we try.
How do you keep up?
Pardon me?
How do you keep that standard going?
Man, I'm just blessed. My dad always used to say, like, you always got to look smart. So that's it. Always got to look smart.
We're here at the public workout for Triple G and Kell Brook. Spoke to you at the previous press conference, and we discussed. We talked about the weight issues and going up in weight. Just want to touch base with you on the WBA's decision not to allow their title to be involved in this fight. What did you make of that? They were citing their reasons for not having that was health issues for a fighter going up 2 categories. Your thoughts?
I could see why they've done this, but they've done it in the past. So, do you understand? As much as you know what I mean, I don't want to keep on citing back history, but you know I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? 1966, Emil Griffiths moves up to fight Dick Tiger. Dick Tiger's the reigning 160 champion, and he had the WBC and WBA title, and the WBA allowed it then. And Emil Griffith was an elite fighter, was a world champion down at welterweight. So when they're saying, "Oh no, but we don't want to sanction this fight," there must be other muted reasons behind it. Maybe even, we're going to try and strip Golovkin and end up to get Danny Jacobs to fight for the solidified real super championship. I don't know, whatever. I don't know, but there's got to be something behind it, because not saying like it's free money for them, but they're a sanctioning board, and everybody else has sanctioned the fight, and they should have sanctioned it, to tell you the honest truth, because Kell Brook is a class act down at 147, and it has happened in the past where guys have moved up. So when we're looking on, we look at history, was it Michael Nunn versus, who was the IBF champion at middleweight, who was a superb fighter. Michael Nunn did that when he fought Marlon Starlin, who was the reigning WBC welterweight champion. So it's crossed, it can happen.
Roy Jones Jr.
Well, the thing about it is Roy Jones Jr., he went up in weight, he went up 2 weights, and then came back down 2 weights. So it does happen, but even though that wasn't for the WBA, so trying to keep it, so it happens.
Being an experienced individual in the sport, what did you take from the public workout today? First Golovkin, how do you think he looked?
I have to be realistic.
Is that the first time you've seen him live?
No, I actually saw him versus Mackin. The guy can really punch, and the thing about it is this: it's like it's effortless. It's not like Abel Sanchez was trying to throw his hands to the pad or anything. No, he punches, it's effortless. And you can see why he is this dangerous puncher. And also, the mechanics of his footwork is very, very good. Like, he positioned himself just right to let off the power shots. But in the same light, so does Kell Brook. Kell Brook can position himself, but then Kell Brook just tapping the pads on a little workout. Different kind of power, right? But you know what? Kell Brook's got skills, and I'm saying by far Kell Brook is the most talented and skilled individual that Golovkin has faced as a professional. I'm telling you this now, because the whole package, because they okay then, well, Kell Brook doesn't punch like a Stevens, right? And it's true, he doesn't punch like a Stevens, but package like to encompass everything. Kell Brook ticks more boxes than what Curtis Stevens does. Ticks more boxes than what a Rubio does. Ticks more boxes than a David Lemieux does. So Kell Brook is the best fighter that Golovkin's gone in with. Just the weight disparity. We're looking at the weight difference, and maybe that's going to be the major thing. But looking at Kell Brook, it looks solid, and if Kell Brook can maintain the speed, wrong foot, Golovkin, he's got a fantastic chance.
What do you make of Kell on the pads, Southpaw?
You know what? I speak a lot to Dominic Ingle, and I say to Dominic Ingle, all you got to do is go back to 2011 and watch Golovkin. I think it was an IBO title fight. When Golovkin fought Kasim Umar, the former IBF middleweight champion. And in that, Kasim Umar gave him nightmares from his southpaw stance. So maybe they're just working and saying, because they can do this. This is the Winkerbank gym. They're renowned for switch hitting. And Kell Brook has got that in his repertoire, but he hasn't chosen to show that. Maybe in this fight, not maybe, he's going to have to show that in this fight. He's going to have to show lucidity for the fact of Golovkin can nullify your senses with that detonating power that he has.
So Spence, most of the prep, the work, the camp, getting to weight, getting into shape, the food is more or less all over now. A couple of days away where they'll be resting, a couple of more public events, and then it's fight night. Biggest fight of Kell's career, probably the biggest fight of Triple G. What is the outcome? What do you think is going to happen?
You know what? Let's, because you're going to see me prior, and you're going to see me just before the fight. I'd rather give my prediction rather than, so that we got more reasons to talk about it.
Okay.
But I am going to say that Kell Brook has a fantastic chance in this fight, and people think that I'm being crazy, and I'm saying no. I'm not going to believe. Not like I'm not believing the hype, because you have to look at the man's amateur experience in Golovkin. It was fantastic. He was a silver medalist in the Olympics. He's a really, really good fighter. He's an excellent fighter, right? Kell Brook's called a special one for a reason. I like to listen to guys over there. We're seeing like Nassim Hamed, or we're seeing, and Nassim Hamed from day dot, long time, baby days, was telling me Kell Brook was special. So it's a tough.
We'll leave that decision for Friday.
I'm being realistic. It is a tough ask, but what I'm trying to say, we should be commending and backing Kell Brook for taking a fight of this magnitude at the time. He didn't have to take this fight.
Sure.
And he's not taking it for monetary purposes, even though he's getting paid fantastically well. But he's saying, I'm taking this fight because I want to win. I want to go out there and pit myself against the best. And that's what boxers should want to do. Like Kell Brook. Roy Jones famously said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. So it's what fight you got in your heart, in your belief. Kell Brook pulled me to one side just a minute ago and said, "Rah, Spence, I love what you're saying about me, just believe." So come on, Kell, man.
But Spence, just on that note, do you think we're living in a time now where previously the great fighters used to get in the ring, it wasn't about money, it was about being the best? Eddie was mentioning a couple of days ago about how fighters are being overpaid now, and he doesn't mind overpaying his fighters as long as
Eddie Hearn's a promoter, so he's gonna have to say that fighters are being overpaid because he wants to. No, seriously, let's be real, because he doesn't want to pay them whatever. But I'm being real here and saying, in the old days, and you know I like to talk about the old days more than anything, but in the old days you had guys who would fight, great fighters would end up fighting each other back to back twice in 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Ezra Charles versus Charlie Burley. Yeah, I mean, Ezra Charles beat Charlie Burley, I think that's 41, 42. Ezra Charles beat Charlie Burley. Charlie Burley goes on and then fights Holman Williams, beats Holman Williams, who's a great fighter. Holman Williams was like 95-5 at the time. And then a week later, 2 weeks later, sorry, fights Ezra Charles again. Ezra Charles beats him not as comprehensively the second time as he did the first time. And Charlie Burley, they say, one of the greatest to ever do it. Sugar Ray Robinson even allegedly avoided this man in 1951, 1952. So we're looking at those guys. Then fight. We have to look at it now. The mechanics and the machinery behind boxing now has changed. So we've got to appreciate what's here now. You know what I mean? So I'm appreciating what's here now. So being a skills person, a person that looks on skill, I'm saying, could we pit the skilled fighters of today versus the skilled fighters of yesteryear? Some guys could stand out and live in any era, like Pernell Whitaker, like Sugar Ray Leonard, like a Vander Holyfield, right? They could live in any era, like a Floyd Mayweather. Kell Brook's going to have to do something special to show that he could survive in any era as well, because we're already talking about Golovkin being one of the greatest middleweights ever. Do you understand? Where he hasn't faced a guy like a Mike McCallum or a guy like a James Toney. He hasn't fought a guy like Michael Nunn. Do you understand? He hasn't even fought someone like a Harold Graham yet. So, and I really do believe like a Harold Graham would have beat someone like a Golovkin, right? Because styles make fights. So we have to sit down in amazement and we have to sit back in amazement to see how much money can be generated right now in the sport, which is a good thing. But then fighters should want to go and pick themselves against the best. So Kell Brook in a heat where he could maybe take an easy defenses in the IBF, right? Not knowing that he's going to run into a guy called Errol Spence, who's no easy proposition. Go out and take the biggest, baddest challenge out there. Do you understand? He's done that. He's taken the biggest, baddest challenge. Commend the guy.
Spencer Fearon, as always, pleasure.
Now, like Raz, you guys just keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on pushing forward. Don't worry about the negative comments that you get on the channel. Don't worry about the hate that you get on the channel, because I'm telling you this now, and I get a lot of hate, but it's cool, right? Because all the hate is confused admiration. They really love you, but they don't know how to express it. Do you know what I mean? So to all my haters out there, I give you a massive big hug. Do you understand? And I wish you all the best. As Nas says, even though you wish me the opposite. Peace.
Brilliant. Spencer Fearon, thanks for doing FightHype.com. We'll catch up with you during the rest of the fight week. Thank you so much.